Infamous gunslinger Desmond Gibbons, better known across the Wild West as the Cactus Kid, comes to the sleepy town of Clarkson. Trouble finds him in the unlikeliest of sources, the sheriff. After their conflict, the Cactus Kid finds himself inexplicably wearing the badge of a lawman. Later, while on the trail of a serial killer, he and his deputy run afoul of a powerful druid, and the events that lead to the Cactus Kid's transformation into the hulking, four-armed projectile reptile are even more than the druid bargained for. From the Wild West to current-day Los Angeles, where he meets superheroes Black Eagle and Red Hawk, and forms an uneasy alliance with the stunning but deadly Kitty Hawk. Join the projectile reptile on a journey of gunslinging druidic magic, superheroes, and artifacts. Projectile Reptile from Dojo Kun Comics, only on Indiegogo. Are you ready for the truly Wild West? Infamous gunslinger Desmond.
Booming already. That's part of the charm, though, right? That's what I'm told. Anyway, welcome to those of you to the Dojo Kun Shill Shack, episode number 36. Last week, we had to take a week off. I was under the weather. In fact, Wednesday was the worst day of the COVID last week. This week, I'm negative and back on the horse, as it were, since we've got a Western theme going on. Why not, right? But tonight, we have a special guest co-host, Hocky. Let's bring him on. How are you, sir?
G'day! Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am Hocky, the ad hoc artist, best dressed person in CG, and wearer of brand new hats. I did a stream a couple of weeks ago about getting some new hats, and now they're here. So, hello. Thank you for having me, Dojo.
Yeah, you bet.
To be here, so.
He is that energetic, folks, because it is actually midday for a Hocky.
It is. Come 1, 2 o'clock. So give me an hour, then I'll be falling asleep. So I have my nana nap, and then
I was going to say, I hope you won't be falling asleep because you've been on the show for an hour.
No, just I'll probably be going. Oh, I need some food. So no,
okay.
I'm excited. I'm looking
all right, great. So in addition to the Alien Hockey show, do you have anything else you're working on that you want to tell us about?
Me? So I do have a channel myself. I haven't loaded anything up for a moment. Where I usually get some artists on and we play a game, a drawing game. But I'm sort of working on things in the background. I've been hired to do a comic for someone. So we're just working out details on that at the moment. Doing some character design and things. I've got Ali actually working on a script for me at some point that I will illustrate. So everything's probably years down the pipeline, but just working on the skill more than anything. So
in the meantime, you're building your channel and making friends in this network. I like it.
Yeah, no, that's it.
I love doing it.
I love talking. I talk to. There's a few people I talk to nearly every day, like Billy Basco and Dan Plagle, and Matt Barr. I see them nearly every day.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just great to chat to people and just get out there and see what people are up to. Some great stuff out there. My goodness. So,
yes, indeed.
A lot of things to live up to.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was talking about on Luke's show yesterday. And there is an item I have completely drawn, completely colored. I'm not going to call out the name of it or the artist because I'm really not sure it's up to snuff. So I've got to think, if it's not up to snuff and I'm not confident in it, will that show if I try to campaign it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I got to be real careful. I might have to go back to the drawing board, or I might have to hire somebody else to go back to the drawing board.
To see how it goes.
Just a writer.
I know it's a hard thing to try and balance. So yeah, but we try. That's the whole point of this is getting out there, getting our names seen, and sometimes our faces. Sorry,
No,
I
I'm
try.
glad
I make up for my face with bow ties and hats. There
with
you
being dapper. I like it.
go. But,
All right. Well,
but yeah.
speaking of Luke Stone, I was on his show last night and we talked about Projectile Reptile. We're not going to do any more of that tonight, though, because tonight it's all about Luke and his project. Let's bring him
Yes.
on. How you doing, Luke?
Hey, how's it going?
Great,
Hey,
great.
g'day, mate.
Yeah.
It's nice to not be behind the controls tonight.
Let someone else do it. I know.
Yeah,
Who have you
I
met?
love the hat. I should have switched out to my pork pie. You know, they tell me it's a hat club,
That's
Yeah,
right.
It is a
so
hat
I got
club.
all
That's a good
kinds of
hat.
hats.
No, that's a great hat. Me too. Yeah, I can change up at random.
Yeah. Oh, I
Oh,
like
Captain
that one.
Stubing.
I can. Yeah, I can do a whole hat dance going on.
Look at this
Oh
guy.
wow! Yeah, there we go.
I like
But
it.
no, it's not about me and my hats. It's about Luke. Luke and his wonderful artwork, his wonderful stories, his wonderful projects. So, yeah.
Speaking of which, yeah, Luke, you're going about something a little different.
I
It's not
am.
super unique, but it is very new. And
Mhm.
it's one of the reasons I couldn't find your project because I was looking in the wrong place, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were probably looking at the typical places that you would for a project that's funding, that's
Right.
not already being sold from a website. You probably looked at Indiegogo or Kickstarter.
I did look at Indiegogo. So, yes, tell us about your
Well,
website then.
here's the thing,
Yeah.
man. I just don't trust people. Um, I called myself the salty artist because I was on a stream, but before I came on this one, where I just kind of let my opinion be told. And
see.
so I'm gonna do the same thing right now.
All
I
right.
just don't trust people, Dojo.
Fair
um,
enough.
you know, there are a lot of grifters out there, and I mean, you're very aware of some of the stuff that I had to deal
Yes.
with distribution and things like that. And I woke up from the big nap, and I realized that there were I was able to see kind of what was going on, and even noticing that there are people getting kicked off of the platform because of a personal vendetta. Someone making a claim and getting someone completely deplatformed. Politics, different viewpoints, stuff like that. People just getting money withheld because, for whatever reason, when they're funding like RIPA and things like that. And I'm like, I don't trust people. I want a backup to all my backups. So I'm also one of those kind of guys that I'm I've got a fire extinguisher, not because I expect to use it, because I hope I never have to, but I am creating a crowdfunding site,
That's great.
not because, well, kind of because I want to use it, because I want to keep more of the money, and I want to save money for my
Right.
backers. These
Yeah.
platforms charge 5% for the platform fee on top of the transaction fee. Now that's a transaction fee from them to me. That doesn't include my transaction fee on my end when I start having to pay for everything else. So it turns out that, with a little bit of work and elbow grease, that you could. This was something that I started several months ago and decided to try out with my latest campaign, if you will. So I found that there was this kind of already like pre-written code for a crowdfunding platform.
Really? Okay.
And I was looking specifically for something that I could plug into my website by myself. So I was looking at different plugins I could do. I was interested in the Shopify thing, and so I looked at a bunch of those different things, and I wound up coming across this thing called Trinacia. And they don't sell a plugin, they sell an entire platform.
Oh.
They've built a platform that you can customize. And so it's so customizable, I'm actually getting ready to spend more money to make it do something it doesn't currently do that I want it to do for me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that's how customizable it is. But it's one of those things you got to put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
anything like that, it takes an investment.
Yeah. Awesome.
But in the long run, this is costing me less money because I'm not paying the platform fee,
Yeah.
which is 5% on the amount you know, and the transaction fee, which takes quite a bit out.
Yeah.
This simply it runs like my regular store. It goes directly to my Stripe account, and in 48 hours, my Stripe account dumps that money into my business bank account.
Oh, that
So that
sounds great.
I've got the money in hand,
Yeah.
which works really good for a couple of things. So I'm running this campaign for a number of days, but as soon as I hit the amount that I need to start the print run, and once I've got my files ready, once those two things happen, I can just send it right off to the printer and go ahead and pay the printer
And
for
do it.
for the initial print run.
Yeah.
And then if more orders come in and we need to up it, he's already got the files. It's just hitting print, on the extra stuff. So, but anything that I do for me, I try to do for others, because
Okay.
I like to take care of the people that are in my pond. It's not a big pond, I'm a small fish in a small pond, but I like to try to take care of the people in my pond.
Sure.
And so if I'm building it for me, I'm building it for you kind of situation.
Okay.
And so when I looked into this, it turns out that I could not just implement this for myself, but I could implement it for my friends too. And so other people can come on and use the platform. We can work out financials and all that kind of stuff, more contractually through the website. And in such a way to where, let's say, for instance, Dojo, you're running a campaign and you
Okay.
set up a flex goal, okay? And it's not an all or nothing, it's a flex goal. You know that you are going to make this comic book no matter what. But the
All right.
reason why you're crowdfunding is because you're truly crowdfunding it. You have to pay for production. Let's say your artist, you've paid to have the first 5 or 6 pages done. You have something to show, but it's going to cost you a bunch of money to make this book. So you're going to do it one way or the other, but it would be nice to have some people on board to help you reach that goal.
Which is the point of crowdfunding. I'm with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with my platform, you could, the way I've got it set up for me, and I have it set up for my friends once we get past some testing, it's going to be to where once you start getting money in, I can start releasing money to your account so that you can start using that money right away to pay your artist to get the art done.
To do more. Yeah.
So you're not waiting for the end of the campaign to pay your artist.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'd really like to get him going
Exactly.
on the remaining pages. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
good
so
point.
you don't have to wait till the end of the campaign, plus the 14 days or whatever it takes. So there's that freedom that's there. I'm not charging any of my friends a platform fee. It's the goal is hopefully I'll make money off of it. There may be certain cases where it's like, look, maybe 1% or something like that, off there, or maybe just out of the total thing, 50 or $60 to help me recoup some of the maintenance to the site that I have to do, here or there, but nothing major, nothing major. But it's really an opportunity not only to have more freedom for me, but also for my backers, but also I don't have to worry about having a platform ripped out from underneath me and then trying to figure out how to run my business. I mean, what if Kickstarter or Indiegogo goes down completely forever tomorrow?
Yeah. Exactly.
How many people's business? Yeah. I mean, think about how many people's business is predicated upon that and that alone.
Yeah.
If YouTube goes down tomorrow, how many people won't have a business anymore because they won't have a means to sell their book or to promote their book? I believe in diversifying all those things and getting everywhere because I've seen things change, I mean.
Yes.
And,
Yeah,
And you never know when, as you alluded to a little while ago, when someone may try to deplatform you.
Yeah.
Now, some people are more incendiary and say things that might get people upset. I try not to do that. I know the two of you try not to do that, but you never know what you say might bother someone to the extent that they're going to try to cancel you. In today's culture, you never know what's a trigger for some people.
Well, I know that I have a lot of triggers for people because I'm a Christian. I'm a Bible believing Christian. I'm a pastor, and so I speak on my convictions from Scripture, and that puts me into what they call a hate group. Now, that makes me a part of a hate group. So
Being a Christian and speaking your beliefs, that makes you part of a hate group to some people.
It really
Yes.
does. It really does.
Yep.
And so I know that it's a matter of time before they come around trying to cancel. And so deplatform this, simply.
Right.
Yeah. Best of luck to you.
So similarly, I do have a website. It right now, if you were to click on the covers in order to buy them, it's print on demand, and it's through Indie Planet.
Mm-hmm.
So I am reliant on another platform in order to get the print sent to you. However, I am going to be looking at doing something very similar to what you're doing, so that it's a direct from me to the customer. That's really my goal.
Yeah.
One of the things I plan to do, if Projectile Reptile does well, is take some of those funds and make that happen with print runs, such that I've got the comics here, and when somebody orders them, they go directly from me to the fan. That's really what I'm. That's my end goal.
I think that's always the best way to do it, and it's great that you mentioned that that's your end goal. There's too many creators out there that they don't have an end goal for things like that. That it's, that I'm always going to be crowdfunding for every book I ever do, or my goal is to one day not have to crowdfund for anything.
Yeah,
just to be able to produce it and then sell it,
Yes.
and to be able to sell it from my website, and ship it to print, to figure out that, well, this is probably what my print run's going to be, what my first order is going to be. So, and work from there. It's good to have those goals, and to be self-sustaining, I think.
I've seen it sort of go the other way. So I was big into board games. I'm a massive board game, but I've seen a lot of companies go from print selling in shops to starting a Kickstarter. Being that Kickstarter is kind of a promotional place they can go to. So there's a community around Kickstarter and Indiegogo that they can go to there and go, oh, what's the latest project? How would you turn that around to go to your own website? Obviously, heavy promotion.
That is a fantastic question, Hocky. I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I really am. Because the thing is, when I mentioned that I've got, and it's not really a crowdfunding, I call it a group buy. Because the book is done, all I've got to do is finish a couple of lettering pages and then have the copy editor go over it, make sure I've got everything right. But outside of that, everything's ready to go to the printer, essentially. And so what we're doing is I'm getting together people to pay for the first print run. 25 people will cover the first print run.
Yep.
And that's why I'm like, hey, you jump in, you're going to get some special prints that I'm only offering for the first 25. So they're getting a little something special.
For helping you fund it. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, they're getting a little something special for it. But yeah, the truth is, like, it's not right now, that platform, my website is not replacing Indiegogo or Kickstarter for me. It would replace Kickstarter. Kickstarter doesn't do a thing for me hardly. But my audience is on Indiegogo. But I hope that as I build my audience through the email, the mailing list, and that's the thing I try to tell everybody, build a mailing list. So as I collect emails from my mailing list through Indiegogo, through conventions and different things like that, I hope to be able to pull more eyes to my website to do those things. A couple cool things about my platform is, the first one is that when you create a campaign, there's a widget, and you can actually, if you have an HTML site, you can just take that widget and pop it right into your HTML site, and it uses all of your stuff, and it's your website. No one has to even leave your website. I have that on mine, but I use Squarespace, which sometimes has some hinky things that happen in the CSS. Yep. And so I'm dealing with some hinky stuff in the CSS for the browsers. Yeah, so I created a link to go to the my Thrinacia account, so you can go to the campaign there. But if you're on mobile, it pops up the campaign perfect on mobile. Oh, wow. Yeah, so it's odd. So it works on mobile sometimes, and it sometimes works on browsers. But it's one of those things. It's so hinky. trying to figure that out. But it's not. It's not worth the time and effort, right now to fix that particular issue with my website.
Yeah.
That's my website's issue.
Okay.
It's just like,
Yeah.
It's not the crowdfunding platform's issue. It's not. It's strictly just a Squarespace issue with CSS. It's It's
So what does
supposed to
CSS stand for those of us who don't know?
I don't know.
I did know. I did.
Custom
I did know.
stylized something.
Yeah.
It's a style sheet. It's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Custom
okay.
style sheet or something like that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah.
So we are here to talk about Luke's current book that he's selling. And
Yeah.
one thing I can show you is this was the first issue of Hybrids, the Sons of Gods. Okay. But what Luke has now is a remastered. And I've got the site ready to just share here. So you can tell us about this. And
Sure.
what were
Look
I
at
see
that.
you've
That
got
pulled up from my web. That pulled up in your browser, didn't it?
it did.
See,
Yeah.
it doesn't work on my computer, but it works on
Okay.
your computer. It's again. I think the issue is primarily with Mac.
Oh,
Right.
I think it's
Okay.
primarily with Mac computers where it doesn't want to use the browser. But
Type of browsers. All
Yeah,
these browsers
it's-
have different codes and they work a little
exactly,
different.
yes, exactly. And so it's like, it's just a headache that I'm ignoring.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, that's great.
all right. So
Look-
what we're looking
oh,
at
look
here
at
is you've got nearly 90% funded of that $500 goal
Yep.
you were alluding to.
yep.
Excellent.
So-
Excellent.
That's a great start.
Yeah, definitely.
I
Yes,
see
yes,
you've got
it is.
35 days to go. How many days has it been up, Luke?
It has been up. I think it said that it's
Oh.
that amount has been funded in 23 days. So
Right,
it's been
okay.
up for 23 days. It's got 35 more to go. I gave it a nice long window. There's no
Yeah.
such thing as 30 or 60-day campaigns with me. I could literally extend this if I wanted to at any time
Just go forever.
because
yeah.
it's I control that. The only thing I don't control is that number on that ticker right there.
Yeah.
And I do control it to one extent. I don't have it include my my shipping.
Okay.
So when you back for the book, it is going to charge you for the book and shipping. Only the book total goes to that 500, not the shipping total.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That
yeah.
way I can. That way I can
You can monitor
truly
the actual
gauge
amount.
the actual amount that I have that I need to pay for the print run.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Which a lot of like Indiegogo doesn't do that. They just add the whole price together. They add everything together.
And
so.
that's why people on Kickstarter started this thing that I think is really, really crappy. Is they will charge you shipping after.
That annoys me too.
Yeah,
I agree.
don't like that at all. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you
Wow.
think you're spending a certain amount, and
Yeah.
then but it messes them up. I mean, how can you determine really
Yep.
what your goal? Because here's the thing with those other platforms, the platform takes 5%. There's a transaction amount. It's about 10% of whatever you raise. You're not going to have. Then you have to figure out, okay, what's the shipping going to be? So you have to
Yep.
come up with this fictional number in your head and pray to God that you got it right. Now there's
Yeah.
algorithms and there's things you can do to get pretty darn close, and many of us have figured that out and have shared that information. But man, wouldn't it be a lot easier if it said, man, I need $500 to pay for the print run of these
Yep.
trade paperbacks to get 25 or 50 of them in house. That's what I need. Not a lot. I just need a few copies here. If I make over $500, easy. It's just going to go to print more books.
Yeah.
So that I have stock to sell.
Right.
And but the first 25 people that help me out with it, well, they're going to get something special for helping me out. I'm going to hook them up with something that I'm not giving anybody else. I'm only giving them.
Excellent.
Nobody's getting it but these guys. So it's a way to say thank you. And so would it be easier to say, hey, I need $500 to do this, and then just raise that $500 and not have to worry about shipping and platform fees and all that?
Yeah.
I think it would, and that's why I did it.
Right.
Great.
Yeah,
So
That's
it looks like there's a trailer here.
there is. Yeah.
Do you want me to play that? Let me hopefully.
Go right ahead. Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got.
Mute.
Oh, your volume.
It's on mute.
Welcome to Hybrids, the Sons of Gods. The epic remaster of the original Trash Day arc is now being collected in a standard trade paperback. With more story, more art, and behind-the-scenes information, this book is the way creator Luke Stone intended the story to be told. This special Arrow Comics Remastered edition is full of energy and excitement, critically acclaimed and one of independent comics' favourite teen books. You are sure to find yourself lost in this expansive universe. So, secure your copy today in this crowd-funded group buy. Once the funds are collected, the books will be sent off to print and delivered post-haste. Luke and the Arrow Comics team have a perfect record of fulfillment. You can pledge with confidence.
There you go.
Well done.
Easy peasy, right?
Yep.
Right.
So yeah,
So who was that?
that was an AI. That was an AI that I use to do my voiceovers now.
I see.
She sounds wonderful, doesn't she?
Yeah.
These wonderful AI voices. They're
Yeah.
great.
So you can pop in text and video and graphics just like you normally would. You can create your tiers off over to the side. I have two where people can buy me a cup of coffee, or they can buy the book. Here's the feature that it doesn't currently have that I'm paying to have installed. You can't currently pick more than one tier. And the way I want this to work is I don't want people to have to pick a tier that has everything collated to it. I would maybe do like a special group, like bundle package maybe, but I want to do everything a la carte and make it simple where people can pick and choose their own tiers and make their own custom tiers and not have to pay an arm and a leg for shipping, so that everything just populates with a reasonable amount of shipping to get it to your door. And so that feature, to create a shopping cart feature, is about $600 to have the code installed. The code is already written, but it's going to take about $600 for those people to install it into my dashboard, so that I can use it and the people that use my platform can use that. So that is that's really the only feature that I am working on fixing.
Yeah, it's a great idea because especially you go to these places and you'll click on one, you'll go all the way through the transaction, then you go, oh, they've brought out another one, or I just going, oh, I want these two covers or these two things. Yeah, it's a great idea.
It's all right there. You just
pick and choose.
Pick what the things you want. That's
I want cover 1 and I want cover 3. Yeah,
because for me it's ease of use, end user. I want for people to go there to not have to fuss with this thing and and to enjoy this experience.
Being on that front page too, Indiegogo, you can go, like, once you click on the tier, you can add stuff in the back, but you don't see that up front, so you just don't know about it.
Yeah.
So being able to just go, you can click on this one, click on this one, click on this one.
Just add them to cart and you're good to go.
Great. Great way to do it. So.
And then it checks out, we're using Stripe, so you can use your PayPal, or you can use your Apple Pay, Google Pay. I just want to make it as simple and as stress-free as possible for people. Yeah. Because here's the thing, I believe in my product. I think I've got a darn good story. I think that people will enjoy it. Awesome. I mean, it's got ancient gods, aliens, conspiracy theories, superheroes, beautiful women, manly men, bad guys, demons. It's just got, I'm telling you, it has got action and it's got feeling. And
hey, that makes me think of something. Yesterday, you were giving me some grief because I threw everything in the kitchen sink in my book.
In 48 pages, mine's 140.
Oh, okay. That's right. We were talking about how each section that we talked about in my trailer would be like a whole book for you. So
that's a 24-page book, man.
How
are you doing it?
So
I
that's
swear, if
awesome.
there is one thing led to another in your book, I'm going to be ticked. I tease, I kid.
I know. So tell us about the storyline here. Whatever you're, feel free to share.
Absolutely. So, um, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with a scripture in the Old Testament in Genesis, found in chapter 6. It talks of the sons of God or angels seeing the daughters of men and procreating and creating this hybrid creature called the Nephilim.
Yes.
Well, these Nephilim are found throughout many religious lore and historical documents, not just one religion's Bible. And so there are actually people in the world that believe that the Greek gods were inspired by real life Nephilim. And that got me thinking, what if every conspiracy theory on the planet, what if ancient aliens, what if pyramids, what if all of these things could be traced back to one singular event? Angels seeing the daughters of men and having babies. What if all the Greek gods and all of mythology, what if the centaurs and the minotaurs and the mermaids were all real, but they were just stemmed back from this one moment in history? And what if those creatures that were created continued to have babies and the DNA just watered down? So, keeping in mind that this all could be real and that it could be right at our fingertips, maybe right here between the three of us, maybe we've got some hidden or dormant DNA from an ancient alien or an ancient angel, rather. And what if one day something would happen and that dormant trait would wake up? Mm-hmm. And rather than having blue hair, sorry, SJW, rather than having blue eyes or red hair, maybe you could have the power to lift buildings or to teleport or, I don't know, fly to the sun. Imagine if that were the case. Well, in this story, that's exactly what happens. See, out of nowhere, there are some bright lights in the sky, and people start developing these godlike abilities. But the story's not about people getting the powers. The story's about something more sinister that takes place. So as soon as these people start developing these powers, they begin to vanish. The people do. Someone is abducting the people. And so our story follows a small group of heroes that are trying to stop these abductions, and they're trying to find out where the people are being taken because they've had some loved ones abducted.
Oh, okay.
And so this whole first arc is trying to figure out, number one, why are people starting to develop these powers out of thin blue air, it seems. So what's causing that? Who's behind it? And what's going on with these abductions? And why are people being taken to begin with? So not only are they trying to figure that out, but they're trying to rescue these loved ones. And so it ends with it starts with a kind of a reconnaissance mission to learn more, to gain more information, but it ends with a full-out rescue attempt that,
Awesome.
A little spoiler, doesn't end exactly as they'd hoped. And so that is volume 1, called Trash Day. It's called Trash Day because one of our not our main character, but the guy we are introduced to this story through, his name is Clarence, and he works as a trash man. He does not like to be called Clarence. He goes by Trash Man. And it just so happens that his work day is interrupted with all of this mess. So it's literally Trash Day.
No.
Yeah.
So I have some theories. I know you're not going to reveal because, after all, we need to get the book to read it. But I have some theories as to why these people are being abducted. I can't wait to see if my theories are right.
Well, let's hear them.
So one theory I have is that they're being abducted in order to either steal or duplicate their powers.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Somebody has the ability to do that, and as they identify these people who are, descendants of the Nephilim, maybe they have a way of either adapting the power themselves or putting them in their own soldiers for whatever purpose.
That's a good idea. I should have went with that. What's your idea?
Nice.
Another is they feel that the Nephilim are unduly or unjustly privileged, and they want to remove them.
Ooh, that's another good idea. I should have played on that angle.
All right, so obviously those are both wrong.
or are they both right and I'm just lying to you?
Oh,
That's
well,
true.
Right?
I guess that's possible.
But
Another
you'll have to buy
option
the
is-
book to find out. No.
That's it.
Right.
Maybe another option is that the Nephilim going, bugger, we shouldn't have had sex with all these people. Maybe we'll get our power back. So
Maybe. Have you ever met anyone that's regretted having sex with a lot of people?
no, probably not.
Okay.
No, maybe the angels might have regrets, but
Maybe. I don't know.
uh,
I mean, I'm just wondering. I mean, not that I have a particular viewpoint on that at all. I'm just thinking. I was just thinking. It's like when you said that, it's like, well, maybe they
Now,
regret. I don't know.
one of the things that I find with crowdfunding things is that obviously this is a collection of stories.
Mhm.
Does it complete an arc? So this collection
yes.
completes a full arc. So we get a beginning, middle, and end to this story in this one book.
I write every issue with a middle, with a beginning, middle, and end to that bit of the story.
Yeah.
And I create, and so let's say this arc was 5 issues, so each little bit of the story had a beginning, middle, and end, like little acts.
Perfect.
And then
Excellent.
this whole arc had a beginning, middle, and end, so it all fit into the overarching. Now this fits into the first act of 3 acts that I'm working on, and so the Killing Field, which is crowdfunding, technically crowdfunding, it's in demand right now. It's being shipped out. Actually, it's packing up boxes today, and they're getting put in the post, and so we're doing issue 8 now. This was 1 through 5. We're just shipping out issue 8. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 more pages left in issue 9 to draw, which I should have had done a week ago, but I got busy building this, and so that book is going to crowdfund shortly, and then once that floppy, for lack of a better term, is released, then we're going to do a compendium like this, a whole volume as a trade paperback, but we're going to release the individual issues first, because the trade paperbacks I always include not just the issues, but behind the scenes stuff and extras and all the backup stories and kind of insider information that you would not normally get unless you're a patron or something like that.
Yeah.
So I like to cram all that into these books.
It sounds like a lot. That sounds great. So I say one of my gripes is that a story doesn't end when you get the comic, but this sounds perfect. That every comic that you get some satisfaction at the end of the story, end of the book, to say, yep, something's resolved, but
something is
there's something else coming that I can just go, oh, I'm excited for the next part.
Mm-hmm.
I have some resolution, but now I can get excited about the next one. That sounds wonderful. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. So
sounds like the right way to go about doing that. You're right.
yes.
It takes a lot of planning.
Yes.
It doesn't happen by accident.
A lot of
I
work.
actually started out telling the story because I wanted to tell issues, what I'm getting ready to tell in issue 11, 10, 11, 12. So those are 3 issues that are 32 pages each, and of story, absolute story. So they're packed, and so I wanted to tell those to start with, but nobody would care about the characters or anything if I just started there. So I had to start somewhere.
I see.
And so I planned it out years ago that it was going to be this amount of books. It was actually going to be 15 books and not 12. But the Killing Field arc got moved to 4 issues, which would put us at 13. So because it was going to be, if I did that, and I thought I was like, okay, I can do another 4 instead of 5 for the last arc.
Yeah.
And then we had this deal that was supposed to be with Spencer's. Didn't wind up being even real. so we, so, but that was supposed to be a contract for 12 months. And so
Yep.
Randy and I had discussed, let's go ahead and make this a 12-issue arc, to run the whole thing during the life of the contract so that
Right.
it doesn't have any leftovers.
Yes.
So it then was worked out to where we could fit it into 12 issues instead of 15. And so it is, and though I can deviate from that now if I want, I'm not going to, because issues 10 and 11 are already laid out.
Yep.
Written and laid out. I just have to finish writing issue 12. But it's one of those things. I've been doing this for so long.
Yeah. Wonderful.
It's like I don't want to end it. It's like I've got other stuff planned. I know where I'm going to go with it, but to resolve this overarching issue of who was behind it to begin with, because that's what we do in issue 12. We deal with who was behind it to begin with.
Yep. It's the grand finale. It's the
Right.
Master Overlord. That's
Yeah.
it all.
It's the Hybrids annual #1, which wraps it all up.
It really does. Now I am creating 2 new threats
Oh,
in that book, so now the readers will not, at the end of issue 12 will be like, okay, Luke, where are you going with this?
Yeah.
Who's
What's happening now?
Who is our antagonist? And
Awesome.
I'm like, well, I don't know yet.
That's cool. Yeah, well, that sounds like a great story to get behind. So anyone who's watching this, I think they'd be really excited to see what's happening. A great
And for
premises.
for 140 pages, $25 is a good a dollar amount. I mean, that's a steal.
That is,
And
that's amazing.
If you get in and be one of the first 25, like Luke said, you're going to get some extras too. So, help him out, help him get to that print run dollar figure.
You're at least getting 1 print, but I think you're going to get 3. I think you're getting 3 prints actually.
Okay.
1 by me and 2 by someone else.
All right.
So yeah.
Absolutely amazing. So, it's fantastic stuff. So, wow.
So, Luke, we are at about 20 minutes too, and I know we also wanted to talk about something else. What can you tell us about Rift Riders?
Man, I could tell you a lot about Rift Riders. So, I've been spending a lot of time working on just this one kind of universe thing, with the hybrids. But I've got a lot of other ideas, and I think any of us that create comic books, we understand what that's like to have all these other ideas in our head. And so I've been so busy doing hybrids that I've not been able to explore some of these other thoughts, these other worlds. And so I started about a year ago telling these other stories in small little backup stories, like little hints and little teasers. And so last year, when we released that remaster for Air Comics that you've got in the back of that book, I worked with Piper Steed on a 6-page introduction to a Doctor Who meets Peter Pan and the Lost Boys with a splash of Star Trek in it.
Wow.
Kind of story about a young man. He's not a young man. He's an old man. But he's stuck in a 13-year-old's body by the name of Israel, who his timeline came to an end. And he was able to escape in a machine, in a craft that could fly in what we call the corridor. There's a corridor between... Yes. There's a corridor between time and space that exists outside of time and space. And certain people in my universe have the ability to teleport through time and space. And they're called rifters. So they have the ability to rift. And so these people are rift riders. They ride the rift, so to speak, in their ship. So Israel was able to escape. But when he escaped, he stopped aging physically. So he's been around for a while, but he still looks like a young Peter Pan guy.
Okay.
And he has picked up some some crew members along the way. And so in this story, I actually originally did it. Piper wrote it. I had a wonderful artist by the name of Martha Schwartz do the original backup story for it, and put it all together. But when we finally decided that this is going to be a full issue, this is one of the stories that I want to tell. Of all these little ones that I've been putting together, this is the next one that I want to tell. And so Piper had a story that was very similar, so we were co-creators on this one. And so we decided to go at the art again and have a little different feel. So we went with Dillard, who does Buckler. And Dillard draws.
I've never heard of him.
Right now. He's in there right now. And so he does a little different
He sounds
art
like
style.
a hack.
He does a little different art style than what you've probably seen him do, but it's incredibly endearing and aesthetically pleasing. And we found a new colorist for it, and it's got the look and feel of exactly what we want for this adventure. And it has got science, it has got time travel, obviously, it has got threat, it has got timelines that are deteriorating, and it's up to these three people to save everything.
So these three people,
time.
That's the crew you're talking about?
That's our crew, Israel, Lunos, and Rivia. These three little ragtag folks that literally have been spending their time running around the rift to party and have a good time. They've just been going around chilling out and just enjoying themselves. And they run into this adventure, and it just lights a fire in Israel's bones, and he is excited to get out there and to do to get his hands dirty. And so it's a pretty exciting little story. 30 pages. Now, this is a full crowdfund. We are doing this to pay Dillard and the colorist to do it. I will be lettering this, so no need to pay anyone there, unless I pay myself. I don't know how that would work. Maybe I guess I'll pay myself an exposure.
There you go.
I'll
just careful what you expose. This is a family channel.
I'll just expose myself to myself. That's. I'm sorry, I digress. That's crazy. It's getting late. But so we've got the first 5 pages done.
Okay. And
the rest of the book is written. It's ready to go, and so we are going to be crowdfunding this book starting September 2nd. It's in sign up right now. We would like to see a lot more sign-ups than what we've got. But yeah, this is a fun and exciting book. It is all ages. So when I say all ages, a lot of times when you say all ages, you think it's a kid's book. No, it's not a kid's book. It's all ages. A kid can read it.
Yeah, there's no
but
swearing.
Would enjoy it as well.
Yeah, in some areas the kids are going to have to be. They're going to learn some stuff in there, because there's literal science in the book. So we actually have science in with our fiction, so it's pretty exciting stuff. The explanations and stuff. It's like what you would get from a classic Doctor Who or Star Trek. When they're explaining the science behind something. So yeah, it's cool. It's something that anybody can get into, especially if you like those kind of almost swashbuckling type adventures.
So for the sign up that you said that you've already got in place, is that on your website or is that on one of the crowdfunding platforms?
It's on Indiegogo.
Indiegogo.
Yeah, so we are running that on Indiegogo. So that is and I'll put in the private chat in case you didn't find that one. Yeah, it is we decided to run it there because we want it to fund reasonably quickly, and we also want it to be able to go past our goal.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, let me say hi to some folks who have joined us. Really appreciate those of you who are watching live. I know that there are some very interesting other streams that you could be on, so we thank you for being here. Those of you who watch on the replay, we appreciate you just as much. But with us today, we've got General Piggy. Hello, General Piggy. Thanks for being here. And of course, Hockey on panel and in the chat.
In the chat, I'm saying hello to everyone as I see them. So,
oh, okay. 24 Eyes, thanks for being here, man. It's great to see you. Odin, the famous Odin. I've been learning a lot more about Odin. Yeah, he's getting to be more and more well known around these parts. I like it. And of course, Dillard's with us.
Yeah, Dillard.
Hockey guy looks sus. Now I see where you're getting the. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
And Ranarchy is with us. 666.
Yeah.
Past Master Dan is with us. Thanks for being here. And let's see. And hey, Mrs. Good Stuff. Also, good to see you as well.
Yeah. It's great to see you all.
All right. So in the private chat, I'm gonna pull this up into a window so that I then can go to my StreamYard. Okay, I've got to do a different share.
Oh, hey, say hello to Telepathic Bunny Comics. Welcome.
Connor. All right, so let's see. That's.
We'll have the elevator music.
Sorry about that, folks. Oh, Girl from Ipanema.
Yeah.
I like it.
Always, that's my go-to elevator music.
Is it? Okay. All right. So, there's a secret perk for those of you who sign up.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
So is this Dillard's art right here that you were talking about?
This is Dillard's art. It's not the colorist that we're going with. We actually decided on a different colorist.
Okay.
I got my reasons, mostly because I just like the other colors better. But
that'll do it.
This colorist was not able to use his actual name because he would not promote it because we're Comicsgate.
Oh.
And so I was like, okay. But the other colors, I like the depth and the feel better, the mood he captures way better. So when we launch the campaign, you're going to see his art in there. You'll probably notice there's a little video for this that should be on the sign-up page. That is just, it's just a very quick little 10-second kind of video.
Okay.
That something we played around with. That shows the colors.
Press
with
play.
The art.
Let's have a quick look. Done a few
Welcome
seconds.
to Rift Riders.
An exciting adventure in time and space.
There's something devouring timelines, and there's only one person smart enough to stop it.
Me!
Just a quick little blurb there. I think it kind of gives the idea that, that they've got some personality.
Yeah. That's great.
And they're all kind of, all kind of big brain too, a little bit, so, they're all smarties, and makes it cool to be smart, kind of thing. So very excited about it. You can see the difference in the colors. It's definitely has more depth and mood to it. So
yeah.
we feel it worked with Dillard's art a lot better, and so we're excited about launching that whole thing. And yeah, so as soon as we fund this thing, as soon as we get our crowdfunding goal hit, that we know that we've met the amount that we need, I'm just going to go ahead and start paying Dillard out of pocket, getting going, so that we can get this art coming in quick. And the colorist is going to be like right behind us, like he's already in reserve, waiting to go. And so this book will, as soon as we hit our funding goal, will be it'll be happening. It's 30 pages. Piper did a hell of a job on the script. It's got mystery, it's got puzzles, and it's got adventure.
Awesome.
Sounds
and
great.
I was like, dang it, you fit a lot into 30 pages.
Yeah.
See, you can do that.
I said she fit a lot. She didn't fit a novel's worth. I just have to give you a hard time, brother.
Uh-huh.
I hope you didn't mind me trolling you a little bit last night. It was
it was great.
Fun.
In fact, I'm sort of asking for it today by bringing it up all the time.
Yeah. No, that's Dylan is a master artist. Like you look at the stuff that he produces, and so you know that it's going to be like top notch art in there.
Yeah.
And
he's delivered multiple times.
Yes.
I've delivered multiple times. We're delivering right now. We're only running late on our current our current campaign because of the printing issue. What's up, Rick? Yeah, because of printing, getting prints in. But we've got that fixed. We've got the printing thing fixed, and so that will not be an issue moving forward. In fact, we are putting ourselves. We're expecting to be able to deliver before our promise date on this campaign, but we've put in enough padding there. But you guys know that Dillard delivers. I deliver. You know that Piper delivers. You've seen our work. You know what we're capable of. You should be able to back with confidence, knowing that you're going to get a fun story. You're going to get a good book. That that's going to be something that you could, once you're done reading it, you could hand it off to, your kid, your niece, your nephew. Let them enjoy it. This is one that I am encouraging people. Don't just buy a copy for you. We're doing a tier where it's a share tier. So we'll give you 2 copies of the book at a discount, so that you are more inclined to buy a copy for you and for someone else.
Excellent.
It's to share it with a friend. Yeah.
And Billy's with us. How you doing, Billy? Thanks for joining us.
Damn you, Billy.
Wow.
He's obsessed with One Piece. So
is that what this is about? This King of the Pirates?
Gonna be King of the Pirates.
Yeah. Okay.
Now my hat kind of looks, if it wasn't flat on top, kind of look similar to the main character's hat. But let's not go there. Hey, Billy.
Yeah. Let's not bring the weebery to this show.
Yeah.
Once you start talking about that weeaboo stuff and the weebery, you lose me.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about
I
any
don't
of that.
understand it either.
The only reason I know anything about it is one of my sons is into a lot of it, so I have to endure when I'm with him.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. That sounds great. Like, especially with Doctor Who at the moment, which has sort of been going through some changes that people don't like. So this could be an interesting thing to.
That was the point. We didn't. Adam. I keep wanting to say Savage. Never mind. COVID brain. I can't remember names.
Yeah, that's all good.
But Adam Lawson. Adam Lawson.
Oh, with Exile.
Read the original trade paperback of Hybrids, Volume 1.
Yeah.
Before the remaster, and he said this was the X-Men that I wanted to read. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
I wasn't getting the X-Men that I wanted, so I made it. Okay. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. I'm not getting the Doctor Who that I want, so we're writing it. Plain and simple.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Great way to look at it. And a lot of times we're told, write the story that you would want to read. So that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, just write what you want. No, that's a fantastic idea. So, no, it's good. So, when are you planning for that one for the actual campaign to start?
September 2nd will be our launch date.
So that's not far away.
So not far away. We have a lot of work to do to get ready for that. We do have a 6 a.m. sticker. So we've got a chibi. Nice. We will probably wind up adding more chibis. One of our stretch goals is going to be a trading card set that we're going to do.
Yes.
And so we've got a standee that we're putting together. So we're doing a lot of things. We're doing a metal print. The art is from Daphne Lage. So Daphne is a good friend of ours, and she was a part of the Long Shots campaign and the Fellowship of the Indie that we were part of.
Is the picture she's doing, is it a furry?
It is not.
It is not. Okay. Whew.
It is not a furry. But we do hope to draw her furry community over, because there's one thing I know about furries. They've got pockets. They got deep pockets.
Yeah.
And time on their hands.
That's right.
So we do hope that they would. Again, this is for all audiences.
Right.
There's nothing in here that's going to. We are not. There's no political agenda.
Yep.
There's no alphabet things going on here. It's not about. It's not about sex. It's about adventure. It's about fun, and it's fun. I'm telling you, it's just fun.
That's what we want. Escapism, entertainment.
Yeah.
Just take me
You
out
can
of the real
happily-
world for a while.
You can happily leave these ones in your church stall. No problem.
Absolutely. Or you could leave one in the stall at the strip club. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter
Oh, Lord.
what
Exactly.
you are into.
Everyone.
Universally, the nuns and the bikers will like it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are into those kind of like Peter Pan and the Lost Boys kind of things, if you're into especially Doctor Who or old Doctor Who and old Star Trek, you're gonna love this because it's got that classic sci-fi feel. But man, Piper is a hell of a writer, and she has come up with some fun twist on it, and I like it. I like it, and if I like it, I'm a hard sell, dude. I really am. And so I'm the producer of this book. I'm the producer. I didn't write. I came up with the concept, and I kind of wrote who the characters were, and where the arc, kind of where I wanted it to go. But Piper had this other story that worked really well, and I was like, well, let's just merge them. Now they're one story. And we picked an artist that I want to read, that I want to look at his art, and a colorist that I want to look at their colors.
Yep.
And so I'm literally I'm producing, as the producer of Luke Stone Studios, creating the book that I want to read. And the cool thing is, I'm so excited about it that Randy Zimmerman at Arrow Comics was like, this should be an Arrow Comics book. I go, yeah, it should. And so it is actually getting published under Arrow Comics. So Randy will be pushing that and trying and working for distribution for this.
Randy's
book.
a good guy.
Post this. Yeah, he is. He's a great guy and a great industry guy. I love him. He's been a great mentor. I've learned a lot from him. And I think I'll learn more. Anybody that dismisses someone just because they've been around for a long time is a fool.
Oh, yeah, don't do that.
I actually know someone in the industry that, on the fact of Randy Zimmerman, dismissed Randy because he'd been around for a long time. Well, publishing has changed. The indie market's changed since he was doing it. And you know what? Fool. The man is a fool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the man is a fool.
There's all this past history that they can build on top of. You come in fresh, like you don't know where those mistakes have been, or just know how the directions change. So having that past knowledge is wonderful stuff.
And go ahead.
There's some truth to the fact that things have changed, but that doesn't mean Randy didn't learn along the way and adapt.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
And it's not to say that that there's something to be said about kind of the slow burn, if you will. The building slowly, putting the pieces, the proper foundation down. It's important. It's important to do that.
So these have been some great projects. You saw me sign up for the Rift Riders, so you got at least one more sign up there.
Thank you.
And we will definitely look forward to that. We've come to the top of the hour, though, a couple minutes over. I want to say thank you to both of you for being here. This has been a great conversation. Hocky, where can we find you in the socials?
So you can see it right there, Ad Hoc Art on the Twits. My YouTube is also Ad Hoc Art, so you can find me there. Notice the K. So there is a K in Ad Hoc. So you can find me there. I am on Instagram as well, Ad Hoc Art and Distribution. So I've been posting a lot of my current stuff up there that I'm drawing. But I pop up here and there. Ali's channel on the weekends. I'm usually on Topicless on the My Wednesday on Tuesdays. So you find me around the traps. But more importantly, we need to keep out for this guy.
Right.
And,
So
and,
Luke,
and for this guy, for the current campaigns that are out. So
Hocky is always very supportive. It's very appreciated. Luke, where can we find you?
I'm easy to find, buddy. LukeStoneStudios.com. I lose my keys. I lose my head if it wasn't attached. So I've got to keep everything simple to find. LukeStoneStudios.com. Go there. You can find my Twitter link, my Instagram. You can probably find Facebook. You're going to find YouTube. I do 2 shows a week, at least 2 shows a week. Nerd Cap on Tuesday nights, which you were just on, is getting tons of playback, by the way.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so people are really enjoying that one. And then I do a Nerd Bacon on Thursday morning, so tomorrow morning I'll be doing a show. So you can find my YouTube on there. Please sign up for that. But check out the all the other links. I've got tons of links. I've got stores in there. Not only can you buy comics, but you can buy STL files to print 3D models. All kinds of stuff I have for you over there on that store, on that website. So go check that out and join the mailing list so you can keep up to date on everything I do. LukeStoneStudios.com.
Great. Thank you so much for being here, Luke. Appreciate being on your show last night as well. And I'll be listening to Nerd Bacon while I'm working tomorrow.
All right.
Take care, guys. And thanks for being here at the Shill Shack.
Thank you, everyone.